Alright, I think we're good to go. So, holy fucking shit! It's another episode of Analytical Fanboys. I'm your host with the most, Simeon Scott, and I am joined, as always, by the magnificent Chris Gaston.
Hey, I'm happy. I'm feeling glad. I got sunshine. Well, it's in a bag.
I fucking knew you were gonna pull a line from one of the songs.
It's a good line.
It's alright, yeah, it's good. We'll get to it. So today we're talking about not the first Gorillaz album, but the first phase of their music. Basically everything that's on the first DVD.
First DVD, which includes the first album. So it's like the first... Okay, think of Gorillaz phases like Avengers phases, like Marvel phases.
I figured it was something like that.
Each album is like their Avengers, but there's a bunch of ancillary material that goes with it.
Bunch of those Marvel one-shots that they haven't made in like 5 movies now.
I think it's because they started doing the TV.
And then they started completely ignoring the TV.
Yeah. Speaking of Marvel and TV, I told you the other day, but I just want this on record for anybody who listens. The guy who plays the Punisher is related to the wrestler Kurt Angle.
Hell yeah, that's true. That is damn true.
I kind of want to rewatch Punisher just to see if he like sneaks that. Damn true.
I haven't even started it yet, so when I do watch it, I will let you know.
But we're talking about Gorillaz,
which is a thing you suggested, because Gorillaz is one of those things for me where it's like I've always been aware that it exists and it's out there, but I've never really known anything about it except that it's super popular. Like a lot of people who I am a fan of are a fan of Gorillaz. Like, shit, no names are coming to me now, but I remember there was a long time period where I was just seeing YouTubers casually bring up Gorillaz in videos, and I was like, what the fuck is Gorillaz? Then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, it's a band cartoon thing. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, this first phase really sets the theming of what Gorillaz is kind of about, because it's a band with a theme. Essentially, in real life, Damon Albarn, who is the lead singer of Blur, and Jamie Hewlett, who was a comic book artist who created Tank Girl, were roommates and were watching TV one day and just like started ranting about celebrities and going like, fuck all this is all bullshit. This is all bullshit.
So they were Daniel Bryaning it up.
Okay, yeah. And basically they went, all right, why don't we just make something and put a fictional band on it so they can't be celebrities?
Huh. That's not a bad idea to start from.
Do you know what Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett did? Like, do you know Blur and Tank Girl?
I know of Tank Girl. I've never heard of Blur before.
You've heard Blur.
How so?
Song 2. Woohoo! Woohoo! Same guy.
I see. Okay.
Blur was big, but they were bigger in England because they were part of Britpop, which was basically England's grunge.
That's interesting.
It was the alt-rock scene that really took off in the 90s. Like, they're not exactly similar stylistically, but...
Well, that makes sense, because listening to this stuff, the songs from the self-titled album here, a lot of this feels not exactly like alt-rock, but very much in that vein, where it's very laid back, the lyrics get kind of mumbly at times, and it's generally... Like, here's my whole thing with this. I'll go ahead and tell you what I generally thought of this right now. This is not for me, but I can appreciate it. I really do appreciate all the technical skill it took to make something like this.
You may appreciate Demon Days a little bit better than...
Because I don't like this brand of rock, and some of the character, like, I don't outright dislike the art style, but some of the character designs are just really fugly to me, and not in a cool way.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Gorillaz art has evolved and changed throughout the years. In fact, a lot of people's favorite version of the characters is Demon Days. Oh, I'm a little partial to Self-Titled and Plastic Beach.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I really like. People who know Gorillaz are going like, yeah, I can understand that. You have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well, I'm trying to understand where you're coming from to see if maybe there's more of this I should look into. Because, like I said, I didn't dislike this. I was just like, so it's all right.
The best way I can put it is the first Gorillaz album it's much more indie and much more hip hop. It's much more trip hop than it is rock.
Yeah.
Well, Demon Days brings a little bit more of that rock edge back into it.
And see, I'm just not into the kind of laid back. I hesitate to call it mumble rock, but that is kind of what this felt like. I'm not super into this style of music.
A lot of the inspiration for the first Gorillaz album was dub, which is sort of related to reggae and Jamaican music and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And a very specific subgenre of hip hop from England called trip hop, which was a lot more relaxed, a lot more quiet form of hip hop that really took root in England. So that was a big influence, and you can really hear that in stuff like Tomorrow Comes Today, Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
But you can feel a lot more of the rock and stuff like Punk, 5-4, and 19-2000.
Yeah. And there's definitely songs I enjoyed on this. Like 19-2000, I thought was really great. I didn't particularly care for the video, but I liked the song itself. And that's kind of a reoccurring thing with, like, I get what they're going for, and it looks really great for the time, but I'm not a fan of their videos.
Yeah, because this was a virtual band of characters made in the year like 2000.
Yeah, the album is dated as coming out in 2000. And they do some incredible mixing of 2D and 3D animation, which looks good even for today.
Oh, yeah. But I think this band and Daft Punk really got the anonymous artist really kicked off into the mainstream consciousness.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because Daft Punk having the masks is a similar kind of theme. It's like, yeah, no, we want you to focus on the music, not on us. So we'll just make dope characters for you to attach to.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny when you get to, like, later points in this playlist you made me, and there's a video of them being like, we have action figures now.
Well, they did have vinyl toys made of them.
Yeah, I know. I actually knew about those before I went into this because of one of Digibro's extremely old room tour videos from way back when I was just getting into him. He showed off a couple of those figures. I believe he had Russell in 2D.
Yeah. Hold on, I was grabbing my phone from across the room.
We're professionals.
No, we're not. But yeah, so I basically made you a playlist that, the best way to put it is, it replicates the DVD, but I also added the other songs that weren't on the DVD from the album back into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also gave you the album to listen to. So which order do you want to go through?
Let's go with the Phase 1 playlist you made me, because I watched that first, and then I listened to the album a day later, and I also went and had the Phase 1 playlist on again this afternoon while I was doing some work.
Okay. So the first things first we got to talk about is the music video for Tomorrow Comes Today.
Yeah, and it's um hang on, I'm not sure if I'm mixing it up with another song, so I'm just gonna play a bit of it real quick.
Yeah, you do that, man.
Yeah. Okay, this is a really nice kind of like relaxed, laid back little song. I can picture this being like the beat of this at least being like the background music for either like a Toonami bumper or a 2000s video game, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are all right. Nothing too interesting to me, and it just makes a really decent introduction for the characters.
Yeah. It also gets the character designs and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Um, and people have noticed if you pay attention to how the faces animate when people come into frame, it shows their dynamics. Like when, okay, quick summation of the characters so we can talk about them easier. You have Murdoch, who is at the time a 30-year-old Satanist metal bass player.
That makes it. I didn't know any background information on him. He's one of the character designs I didn't like just because I saw him and I was like, he looks like the kind of guy who would be an asshole customer to me at work and I would want to punch if I saw him walking down the street.
Oh no, that's his character.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like he's an asshole. That's part of the fun because he gets comeuppance and weird shit. But basically he was an asshole and ran into this guy called Stu Pott, this dumb pretty boy English dude, and sent him into a coma and gave him an 8-ball fracture in an eye, which basically means blood seeps into the whites of the eye and makes it look black.
Okay.
So the character doesn't have holes in his eyes. That's his eye. It just looks black.
Huh. Didn't know that
Um,
was a thing.
yep. And as punishment, Murdoch was told, all right, you got to take care of this fucker. Murdoch, being an asshole, went, all right, put him in the back of his car with no seatbelt, driving around trying to do donuts and impress chicks, got into a wreck, Stu flew out, the other eye got an 8-ball fracture, but he woke up. And they went, let's start a band.
Because that's the natural reaction to that.
Yeah. Stu was also like a retail worker for an organ emporium. And Murdoch saw us like, oh, you have access to instruments. All right, I need you to make a band.
Okay, for a second there, I thought you meant organs as in internal organs, not organs as in the instruments.
No. So they put an ad out, and then they got Russell, a giant, beefy black dude from New York who is their drummer.
Yeah, and Russell's fucking dope. He looks like just a bruiser. He looks like Mark Henry if Mark Henry was a cartoon.
But thing about Russell is when he was in New York, he was in a gang. But one day, all the members of the gang except him died, and all their spirits possessed him and coagulated into one spirit, Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
So that's what the fuck that shit is. Okay.
Yeah, it's a ghost possessing Russell that is the total summation of his deceased friend's soul.
All right. That's way cooler than what I thought it was. I thought it was just some random ghost that was antagonizing the band.
And then originally the fourth member of the band was a girl named Paula, who was Tootie's girlfriend. See, here's the thing though, Murdoch fucked her.
Makes sense.
And Russell kicked her out. And Russell kicked her out of the band, so they needed a guitar player. Lo and behold, 5 seconds later, a package came to their door from Japan, and they opened it, and a 10-year-old Japanese girl with a guitar started shredding, and they went, okay, you're in the band, and they asked her name, and the only English word she could say was noodle.
Does that, like, change over time, or is that, like, a continuous thing with her? Because she sings in some of the songs, so I'm curious.
No, she grows up and she ages. All the characters age. Right now, Murdoch is like 50. Tootie is like 40. Same with Russell. And Noodle is our age.
That's cool.
She's about early 20s. So the characters have progressively aged.
That actually, more than anything, that makes me want to listen to the other albums just to watch them grow and change.
Yep. Also, for some reason, with not their last album, but the album right before it, Noodle also became an ambassador for Jaguar race cars.
All right.
That's a thing that happened. And I've mentioned to you in private, not in the podcast, that eventually in one of the albums, Murdoch, the bass player, got arrested, and while in jail, Ace from the Powerpuff Girls became the bass player in his place.
Just fucking hilarious.
And it's completely canon. Like, that is actually, it's not just a character that looks like, and it's kind of a reference. No, it's that character. Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett got permission from the creator of the Powerpuff Girls to put him in the band.
All right, I was wondering if it was that or if he approached them and was like, "I love your shit. Can we collab?"
No, they've been friends forever. Like when the Powerpuff Girls movie came out, if you pay attention, when Mojo Jojo's looking at a newspaper, on the back, do you see an advertisement for Gorillaz live in concert?
That's cool.
Yeah, so they've hinted and winked at the whole thing. So now that the characters are established, in the Tomorrow Comes Today music video, when 2D starts, when all the characters are kind of like getting into the tableau at the beginning of the video, 2D comes in first, then Noodle, and then Murdoch. And the whole while, 2D's smiling. Murdoch comes in, he frowns because Murdoch's an asshole to him.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat.
Yep, but Tomorrow Comes Today. It's just a simple song about like yeah.
Exactly.
It's a song that could mean a lot of things. And a lot of the album and a lot of the first phase is a lot about celebrity culture. Even into phase 2, there's a lot of like being well known doesn't make you happy.
That's interesting, considering some stuff we'll see later.
Yeah. Camera Won't Let Me Go, The Verdict Doesn't Love Our Soul. This references that ever since the supposed celebrity has been found by their troubles, everyone will not stop talking about it. And since their wrongdoings have been discovered in their trial, they have been found guilty of their crimes. Like, it's just...
And that's a thing I really couldn't have picked up on unless I had the lyrics next to me, because, as I said, a lot of the lyrics come off as really mumbly to me. That's kind of a problem I had with the whole album. And I understand it's a stylistic choice. That's a thing some bands just like to do, is to sing that way. I don't like it. I like the lyrics to be clear enough that I can make them out if I need to.
But there's also a level of Damon Albarn is not singing in his natural voice. He's singing as a character.
Yeah, and that's cool to hear them all have like distinct voices.
But Tomorrow Comes Today is basically like information comes so fast that we don't have enough time to process today because tomorrow is already coming.
And this came out in the year 2000.
Yeah.
Fucking insane compared to now, where I feel like that's something people bring up every few minutes now in a conversation, is that aspect of media. Where, like, you know, a Netflix show drops and 2 hours later somebody's going, and so this happens in episode 26.
Yeah. But the next video in the playlist is a G-Byte, which are short little animated bits they put on the internet in the year 2000, remember.
So were they released through a Gorillaz website or like random places?
Not just a Gorillaz website. It was a website where you could explore Kong Studios, where they live and recorded the album, and it just explore the space.
That's cool. That sounds like that would have been a really cool thing to experience at the time.
I think there may be like a mirror of it somewhere online. But like all the places that were in the music videos and the G-Bytes, they're all from in that place. Because Kong Studios was built upon a graveyard. So weird shit happens there.
Okay.
But the first G-Byte in the playlist is Game of Death. Where it's just, they're fucking around.
Yeah, it's just... It's kind of just showing how adorable Noodle is.
Adorable Noodle is, but how everybody just kind of like treats her like a younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
Russell just goes along with everything. Murdoch and Tootie are just going like, all right, cool.
They're over there playing video games and being just generic gamer bros.
So the next bit is the song. There's no music video for it, for Rehash.
Yeah. Which is probably... I'd have to re-listen to it again and pay attention, but I think that might be... No, you know what? It's another one, but this is like my second favorite out of all the songs. This is one of the few ones that actually stuck with me a bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's just a nice little chill beat and some good and well-sung lyrics.
Just talking about, let's see, lyrics. Sweet sensation over the dub. Oh, what a situation. Don't want to stop. In the drugstore, soul boy over the dub. With the sweetest inspiration, we don't want to stop.
Yeah.
It's just talking about songwriting. That's fine to repeat some things as long as you try and do something cool with it. Which is evidence in the chorus, because the chorus is only one line, because it's money or stop.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like there's next to nothing else to say, but it's because of the beat and because of, I believe it's Noodle's vocals. I don't think they have another female singer anywhere in this.
No, it's implied to be Noodle.
Yeah, Noodle's vocals are always really catchy and tend to stick in my head, I found.
But it's a pretty good song, and in the actual album, it is the opener.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
So that was the opening track on the album, but Tomorrow Comes Today is the track in the DVD, which I think is interesting because the DVD was trying to get more across the world, and Gorillaz' world is a little bit more melancholy.
It seems that way, yeah.
Especially when one of their songs is Up on Melancholy Hill.
Huh.
But the next song in the playlist is the music video for Clint Eastwood.
Which is that's the song you were singing at the beginning, right?
Yep, that, I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad, I got sunshine, it's in a bag, I'm useless, but not for long, my future is coming on.
Mm-hmm. This video was very okay. I was just weirded out the first time I watched it by the ghost who you said was called Del, right?
Del, the funky Homo sapien.
Yeah, I hate his design. It's one of the ugliest fucking designs I've seen for a cartoon character in a long time.
But it is so early 2000s.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily a good thing in my book.
I don't know, I like it.
Well, that's fine. I'm not going to bag on you for liking it.
It really works also in another later on music video for Rock the House.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. The color palette is just so awful, and I hate the giant mouth, and it's ugly. I don't like it.
But basically, some of the song could be drugs.
Yeah.
I'm useless, but not for long. My future's coming on.
It's pretty much a song about waiting for your next fix. And it doesn't have to just be related to drugs. Like you said, that could be related to people who are really into celebrity gossip and are just waiting for the next piece of news to drop all the time.
Yeah. Or they are currently in the drug-induced haze and they're just waiting to come down from the high.
That's possible as well.
I'm useless, but not for long. The rap, pretty intense. Finally, someone let me out of my cage.
It's pretty much just introducing you to Dell's character.
But also maybe like the spirit of the band. Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Damon Albarn's not focused solely on Blur. He can be weird and experimental because who gives a fuck? It's a cartoon band. There's no person they have to actually respond to.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Now, Time for Me is nothing because I'm counting no age. No, I couldn't be there. No, you shouldn't be scared. Basically, this is a weird new concept, but don't be afraid. The band's not going to age out and become uncool because they're cartoon characters. They can just be.
But also, we don't know if this is going to take off, so we're just having fun with it. Yeah.
Good at repairs, I'm under each snare. The spirit of the band's just in the music, that whole kind of thing. It's good, but because like you said, it can introduce you to Dell, but it can introduce you to the concept of the Gorillaz as a whole.
Yeah, and that's pretty impressive that they were able to make it so two-tone, I guess would be the right word, or no, double entendre.
Yeah, because two-tone is fucking ska.
Yeah.
Two-tone's like the specials madness.
Well, I was just thinking of a term that describes it's two of the same thing. It's more than meets the eye.
Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah, allow me to make this childlike in nature. Rhythm, you have it or you don't. That's a fallacy. Basically, like, hey, this is it's fine. It's fine that it's a cartoon. Just let it be. It's good. Yeah. This is one of those things where just because I really love a band, I'm going to be talking a lot.
Yeah, probably, but I'm trying to add things in where I can.
But the next thing in the playlist is the animatic, because it never got an official full video for 5/4.
I don't particularly care for this song. The hook line of "She Turned My Dad On," that did get stuck in my head for a little while. Like it just popped back into my head for a whole night at work. I think either the night after I watched this or the night after I listened to the album. I don't really care for the video just because it's more of showing how much of an asshole Russell is, and I'm like, I really don't like this guy. I just don't want to see any more. Murdoch, that's his name. Sorry. It's just showing more of how much of an asshole Murdoch is, and I'm like, I really don't like this guy. Can we just get him out of here?
Yeah, because Magic for me, Magic make no sound, and Good for me, good for Underground. That it's just kind of like a lot of things. It could be drugs. It could just be life in general.
Mm-hmm.
Magic on me, Magic really got me down. Especially when, if you think about it, if these are characters writing songs, what is the song about? Oh, wait a second. 2D just got cheated on by his girlfriend.
Yeah.
With a dude who's like 10, 15 years
legally
older.
Bound to take care of him.
Yeah. Who's 10, 15 years older. She turned my dad on. But looking on the Genius, in an interview, Damon reveals that this line comes from his childhood when he saw pornography on his dad's computer.
That's great. That is wonderful. It's wholesome, is what it is. It's the opposite of wholesome, but it's wholesome to me.
Yeah, it's wholesome enough. Then the next one is New Genius Brother.
Which is all right. the beat is pretty okay, but it leans really hard into that mumble rock thing that I just don't care for.
Yeah, it's very trippy hoppy.
Mm-hmm. Like the parts where they're just kind of going into the mic, I was starting to tune out during that, and it's like I said, it feels like it belongs in a video game, not a full band album to me.
Yeah. Very dream of my world, I live on my world, going off in my head down to somewhere. Drugs.
They're the thing that makes music go round.
I blew a bad man away today, had a gun, had to be done, I blew man away. Getting rid of a bad stuff, man.
Okay.
The next one is Man Researcher Clapper.
I kind of have the same opinion, though the really record scratchy part of the beat actually kind of hurt my ears.
Really?
Yeah, there were a couple songs in here where I was like, that beat is too harsh. It hurts to listen to. And I usually don't have sensitive ears.
Yeah, I can understand. Sometimes things just happen like that.
Yeah.
Looking at the lyrics, it's just like a lot of like, yeah.
Drugs.
Yeah, I got sunshine, I got you.
So you want to just move on to the next G-Byte?
Yep, the eel.
Which I know this is probably going to surprise the shit out of some people, but it was my favorite part of the entire phase.
Really?
Yeah, because I was still I didn't read the homework write-up thing you gave me. I just went to the playlist. So I was kind of just going like, oh, this is all right. It's not really my kind of. There's some technically impressive stuff here. I don't really get. I got to this G-Byte, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I can get into it. This is kind of just like fucking bandmates living together doing weird, wacky shit. Okay, yeah, this makes this feel much more down to earth and much more normal to me.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that it kind of given that flavor, that flavor text.
Yeah.
Oofa. Basically, Tootie's trying to kill an eel for dinner.
Yeah.
And Murdoch goes like, fuck off, you're making too much noise, let me do it. Because Murdoch just knows that kind of shit.
He seems like the kind of guy who would. He seems like he's worked in like some seedy restaurants before and has had to do that.
Oh, he's probably more than that. He has done some shit.
I would not be surprised.
I mean, later on, he does go to jail.
Yeah.
The next video isn't a music video, but it's basically the visuals that they would put up when they play live behind a band.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, so they put those in the DVD and they're on the internet.
Yeah, all right, that makes sense. It's a very, very all right song.
Yeah, it's basically
feels very like late '90s, early 2000s British pop.
Yeah. Always told my thoughts out loud. Then another day I shut up. Just, hey, I'll say what I want and I'll stop talking when I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a minute song, so.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Soundcheck, Gravity.
Which is it's pretty decent. I like the beat on this one. Very nice and relaxed. Very early 2000s feeling, but in a good way. The lyrics are I'm sure there's some deeper meaning to them, but I wasn't able to really read anything into it. It was just kind of like a nice, like, laid back, chill song. So is it drugs?
Let's see. Gravité was one he loved, but once he professes love, she turned him down, and not in the best way. He is broken.
Oh, this is 2D. This is 2D being upset about Paula.
Yeah. It's like, motherfucker. Yeah. Never let me down gently. Never let me go. No. So yeah, it's a nice chill beat. I don't pull me down. I don't pull down on me. I don't pull down on you. It's basically like, I don't want to fucking put this on blast, but you made me. Like,
we're in a band. I got to write songs about something.
Yep. But that's Gravity soundtrack.
Yeah.
The next bit in the playlist is Gorillaz, the Free Tibet G-Byte, which is just a simple little thing promoting Free Tibet, the charity.
Yeah, very cool of them to do that. And I looked up the date on the album because of this video, because I was like, well, how long ago was this they were talking about? Because I only recently found out, like recently as in 2017, found out about all the shit that goes down in Tibet because of China. It's like, holy fucking shit, it's been going on for that long.
Yeah. It's been going on for quite some time.
Yeah. Free Tibet, people. We gotta do it.
The next bit is Double Bass,
which is the song that really made me go like, "Oh, this is Toonami era music."
Oh yeah, there's only two lyrics. All of which makes me anxious at times, unbearably so.
It's just it's a very, very chill beat that I can imagine being played on repeat, on like a like, for some reason I was picturing like a PlayStation 2 era CGI graphic of people walking through a forest. Like that's what came to mind visually while I was listening to this. And then
I could see like a menu in a PS2 game.
That, and also, I think this would go great with like those bumpers Toonami puts up of like, you're watching this now. Next is this, then this.
Oh, you ready for some fucked up fourth wall breaking shit?
What?
Okay, so Gorillaz released a book in universe called Rise of the Ogre. Like, you know those books that would tell the story of a band as a biography? They basically released one in fiction in universe.
That's cool.
Here's the thing. In fiction in universe, Damon Albarn's like a producer, I think, of them. And Jamie Hewlett's the guy who makes all their advertising material. So the person who sings the lyrics in this song is Damon Albarn.
Ha!
It's not 2D.
Funny.
So, Gorillaz, they love to fuck with just it's fucking with what is real and what isn't, and it just makes you go like, this is why bother with this? The music's good. So the next bit is Rock the House,
which I really like this song. I think it's definitely one of the standout songs of the album. The music video is incredibly technically impressive for the time. I am shocked that they did CGI graphics that looked that good back then and still hold up. Like,
yeah.
The CGI graphics in this music video look better than the CGI in the first Shrek movie does now. Yeah. Like, have you watched the first Shrek recently? It's a
No.
fucking nightmare.
I mean, it's Shrek. Of course, it's a nightmare. It's been memed to death.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a track to let Dell lay out some fucking flow, and just be like, I'm good at my craft.
Like I said, the video is very technically impressive. However, I didn't care for it because it's a lot of Dell and it's Rust or Murdoch running around in a fawn.
Yeah, and pelvic thrusting like 5 times into the camera.
Yeah.
It's if you are incredibly put off by his characterization, I can understand like hating this video.
But I'm sure to like kids in the early 2000s, this was hilarious.
Yeah, because there's also like inflatable gorillas with tits.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that? It's great.
It's a weird, funky little video with accompanying a pretty good brag track.
Yeah, and just about hip hop in general. And when the MC rhyme and the DJ spin, I want y'all to just get down. It's basically when I'm doing my shit and I'm good at it, fucking have a party, bitch.
Makes sense.
Yeah, man. It's just a solid track. It's one of my sleeper favorite songs on this track because a lot of people like my favorites are some of like Tomorrow Comes Today, 5-4, Clint Eastwood, the big singles. But that's like one of my like, oh man, that gets to me. I like that.
Nice.
But the next bit in the playlist is 192000,
which is my favorite song on the album.
I can feel that. I can get that.
This felt like it was doing the kind of chill rock thing, but in a way I can get into it. The lyrics weren't that mumbly. I actually really like it when Noodle's lyrics kick in. Again, that got stuck in my head during work one night. And the video is just kind of this nice little road trip thing of them driving around, kind of showing more of the world and more of them just chilling out and being normal people.
Yeah. Basically, the world's too fast. Let's just relax a little bit. My mama said to slow down, so you must make your own shoes. Stop dancing to the music of Gorillaz in a happy mood.
And it's nicely illustrated by the video because, these days we're always going somewhere. We always get in our car because we specifically need to go somewhere and go do something. They're just driving around because fuck it, we want to go hang out and do something somewhere.
And then eventually they run into a giant moose and shoot missiles at it.
Yeah, normal Saturday afternoon.
Okay, quick question. Is it just me, or does that moose just heavily remind you of Invader Zim?
Not at all, but I haven't seen any Invader Zim in a really long time.
Oh my god, you don't remember the fucking moose.
Dude, I barely remember Invader Zim. It's one of those shows that I wasn't into, but I caught an episode every once in a while.
I fucking love that shit. I mean, like,
that makes sense. It is very up your alley.
I need to fucking read the comic because the guy who created it started off in indie comics. He did
He's Johnny the homicidal maniac guy.
Yeah.
I need to read that someday.
Yeah. I was getting the picture of a moose so I can show you, so you can agree with me that yes, that is a similar moose.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. When did Invader Zim happen?
2005, 2006, I think.
Okay, so possibly inspired by this.
It's very possible. But also they have very similar chunky, semi-geometric art styles. Hold on. Oh no. 2001, 2002. This is right after.
Oh, so either directly inspired by, referencing homage, or they came up with this at the same time because of mood of the times.
Yes. The early 2000s, rife with moose humor. We all remember those great moose jokes from. I'm trying to think of an early 2000s comedian. Carlos Mencia?
Dane Cook?
Dane Cook? I can see Dane Cook making a moose joke.
I've literally never seen any Dane Cook stand up because people tell me he's awful.
I remember enjoying it when I was 14, but when you're 14, you have shit taste.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember his beeline joke, and that was kind of funny. But I'm not gonna quote it because fuck Dane Cook. But the next bit is a G-Byte, which is, I think, the end result of them going on their drive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is meant to come directly after. Like, I'm sure this was them fucking around while Murdoch went to get a new car and gas.
Yeah, because basically Russell's asleep on the road, and 2D's trying to jump it like Evel Knievel. And Noodle and Dell are betting on whether he's going to make it or not.
Yeah, which was funny.
So I read somewhere while making this whole thing that someone pointed out Noodle was incredibly smart in betting that he would make it, because even if he didn't, he would wake Russell up and Dell would have to go back and he couldn't receive the payment. He could just get everything no matter what.
Yeah.
So yeah, another G-Byte, just really fun environment and characters. The next bit is Latin Simone, Que pasa con Gieto? It's all in Spanish.
Yeah, and it sounds alright. I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what the lyrics say, but it sounds alright.
It has a herky-jerky kind of vibe, which I love herky-jerky. Like, if I ever make a jerky brand, I'm naming it Herky.
Are you big into what's the term, sound cutting, where it cuts off and it'll be like replayed a bunch of times randomly?
It depends. When it's done in like hip hop, like in Casey Neistat's background music, that's pretty chill. But I'm also a guy who has enjoyed a variety of noise rock in the past.
All right.
like literally noise.
Yeah, noise. I'm assuming you're talking about noise music, and I've listened to some of that, and I get why people would be fascinated by it, but it's completely off-putting. It makes me feel like I'm sitting in a haunted house.
Oh man, no. There was one that's really good. It was a Japanese band, and it starts the song like that, but then it kind of goes into like a serene, and you hear like a bird, and it's like, yeah, the world's chaotic, but this is nice.
All
but
right.
Apparently, I think here's a translation. Leave it if you want to continue, bro. Go out, illuminate your life. The whole sky smashing you. Tell me what you will do. Illuminate that love before it goes away. This is, yo, bro. Go out there. Chase your bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Be awesome.
Yeah. All right, I can get behind that.
Yeah. So the next, and that one also didn't have a music video, but the next one doesn't have a music video either, and it's Starshine.
And I fucking hated this song.
Really?
Yeah. This is another one that made my ears hurt, and I hate that close up to the mic singing really low and really high. I hate that shit. It feels like you're just trying to sound like your song is somehow deep and it came from a place, but all you had was a good beat. And this doesn't even have a good beat. It has a beat that makes my ears hurt.
It's a very bass heavy and tinny beat.
Mm-hmm.
Starshine, when you gonna find me? They ain't gonna find me. When you gonna find me? They're gonna find me. Might refer to depression. Basically, when's happiness gonna come my way? But yeah, I can understand not liking it.
Just completely off-putting in every way.
I think it's mostly because it's a lot of lo-fi and trip-hop influence.
Mm-hmm.
This first album, which kind of melts away to a more general funk and general hip hop flavor for later albums.
Well, that's good.
Like, you've heard Feel Good.
I've seen the first few seconds of it. I didn't actually sit for the whole thing.
Feel good. This is a good one. Next G-Byte, our toys have arrived.
Which starts off really cool and funny, and then it just turns into a joke about shaking 2D's head, and I was like, well, this is a bit base.
Yeah.
Did you like my pun there?
Yeah. It's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
It may have just been released because, hey, we have vinyl toys. You want to buy them?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was exactly it.
Here's 2D, who looks like a bobblehead.
Hmm.
The next song in the playlist is Slow Country.
Which is a really cool, fun beat, but it's got mumble rock lyrics.
It's got what?
It's got the mumble rock thing.
Yeah. But that's not one of the things.
Mm-hmm.
Can't stand your loneliness.
It's entirely a taste thing.
Oh, I can understand. The diction becomes a lot cleaner in later albums, and I'm not saying this to go like, you just gotta give Gorillaz one more chance. It's just more of like, I think a lot of people kind of went like, the mumble, and they kind of cleaned it up.
Yeah, I totally understand. There's a difference between saying, well, I like it because of this, because this is where it all begins, and cooler shit happens later, and there's a difference. And then they're saying, well, when I got to episode 58, it got really good. Fucking looking at you, One Piece fans.
Okay, first things first, you read the manga of One Piece. Because the anime has too much filler bullshit.
I didn't learn that until way later.
You read the manga.
I'm just talking about kids who told me, who were trying to get me into One Piece when I was a Naruto kid.
Well, you showed them right.
Yeah.
Sasuke! Naruto!
I acknowledge that Naruto is fucking stupid, but it's one of those things. I hate using the term guilty pleasure, but if I were to describe it in a way that other people can understand, it's a guilty pleasure.
We need a new term for that.
Yeah.
I'm not guilty that I like the thing, but I understand
guilty
why
implies that you think it's bad, but you still watch it for some reason.
Because to me, a guilty pleasure is, I understand why people do not like this thing, but I like it. It's your precious ugly child.
Yeah.
Naruto is your precious ugly child. It's
my trash son, to borrow a term from Tumblr.
But Slow Country, just a slow jam, slow hippie, trippy bop beat.
Yeah, very alright.
And then the next one, again, has a music video, has a live visual for the backing for the concert stuff. It's M1A1.
This is really interesting. The fucking build up with "Hello, is anyone there?" and then it goes into just like a really hard rock song. It felt so different for them, but in a cool way.
The "Hello, is anybody there?" is actually sampled from Day of the Dead.
Alright, it did sound like it was like either from an older movie or they were saying it in a way to make it sound like it was from an older movie.
Yeah, so it is directly. And when you realize it's kind of sampled from a zombie movie, the name of the song, M1A1, kind of sounds like a virus.
Yeah.
Which in that context may kind of be like, also, M1A1, a route stretching throughout Britain, is the basis of the song. It is further confirmed in the faux biography by the Gorillaz virtual band members, Rise of the Ogre.
Huh.
M1A1 1,000 miles per hour. Gorillaz got the bass drum. Gorillaz say we got some. It's basically like, hey, we're taking over. We're everywhere.
Cool.
You know? They're invading your mind like a zombie.
Oh my god! It's a thing.
Also, it could be a reference to celebrities being zombifying faction to the population.
Hey, hey.
I have a thing. If you can't like see like multiple things in a piece of art, it's very like at minimum 3 things need to be able to be parsed from a piece of art, or else it's kind of shallow.
Okay, so you're speaking to the artists. I thought you were saying about people who consume art.
No, like a piece of art. If I don't see like if I only can see like there's only one thing to take away from this, that's kind of shallow. But like 3, it's a weird thing.
Yeah, I want a sandwich, not a chunk of meat.
Yeah. I want some depth. I want some depth and flavor. The next one is Fancy Dress, where Murdoch dresses like a Nazi.
Wow, does that not age well?
No, it does. It wasn't even aged well then.
Oh, really?
Yes, let's dress up like a Nazi.
Yes, but that was the joke then. It was like, haha, funny, who would be stupid enough to do this? And now we're in an age where Nazism is making a comeback.
Yeah. Also, kind of funny joke, Russell was dressed up like Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, and he literally goes, I wouldn't have picked this outfit.
And then he starts imagining himself in a dress, which is like, yeah. Gender non-conforming Russell. The next 2 songs were not on the official album, but they were bonus tracks on, I think, the American release. Which was Dracula.
Dracula's cool. I like the laid back kind of reggae-esque beat.
Yeah.
Again, the lyrics are sung in a way that I don't care for, but it wasn't entirely putting me off with this track. It felt, with the reggae-esque beat, it felt more like, okay, these 2 things belong together.
Also, apparently, it has a sample from Looney Tunes.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. The very intro, I'm a vampire, rest is good for the blood. That was from Looney Tunes.
Huh.
But the again, that wasn't a music video. It was a live visual, so it was the stuff playing behind when they did a live concert.
It's just a CG graphic of a giant mechanical-looking gorilla walking down a street, and a very cool one at that.
Yeah. Gorillaz. Apropos, for a band named Gorillaz, Gorillaz do make a lot of symbolic reference in their work. I think it's just partially because they look so much like people, but they aren't people. So it could be a commentary on vapidness of humanity, losing sight of humanity, a lot of different things. But the next one is Gorillaz, a Gorillaz song that was collaborated with a DJ, I think, Space Monkeys. Little Dub Chieftain.
I'm sure there's differences here, but this really just sounded like one of the earlier songs on the album to me. I only listened to it once, so let me just... Where's the...
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's drawing so much from M1. It just feels like an M1A1 remix.
Yeah, but it's just taking a lot of bits from things. But it's a fun little bonus track kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then we have the final video of the playlist, Gorillaz, Dr. Wurzel's Winnebago.
I didn't understand this. Well, what was it supposed to be?
Nothing, it's a joke.
Oh.
That's kind of like, and that kind of like, to me, part of me was going like, maybe I should leave it off because it doesn't make sense with the context. And I was like, no, that's why it needs to be there. Because that's kind of what Gorillaz is. At the end of the day, it's just like, nah, fuck you. We're just gonna make cool drawings and music and shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of, if you're into like really weird military shit, it's a fun design for a thing. But with it just being, it runs across the screen, it runs back across the screen, I felt like it was the outro or like the logo graphic for an animation studio at the end of a Nickelodeon show.
But it just fits with Gorillaz. Like, to me, that just fits the aesthetic. Because I know you were saying like, oh man, some of these designs are like ugly. This early 2000s, big blocky characters, thick outlines, geometric kind of shapes, but it's very. These designs are like so up my wheelhouse.
See, I mean, I was a late 90s, early 2000s kid, but like, there's parts of the aesthetics of that era I really like and I'm still fond for, and there's other parts that I'm like, that's ugly. There's a reason that's still not around.
But yeah, that's Gorillaz Phase 1 Celebrity Takedown.
Very, very all right. I can see why they took off. I can see why they have such a big following now, because like you said, they probably grew and got a lot better and changed a lot over the years to keep with their fans. This phase isn't entirely for me. I may go and check out some later stuff and see if I like it. I'm like I said, I'm really interested just to see how the character designs change over the years. But ultimately, I came out of this going like, well, I'm glad I saw it, so now I don't just go completely deer in the headlights when people start talking to me about Gorillaz, but I don't feel like I took a lot away from it.
That's okay. Gorillaz is one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
Which is,
I can definitely see that.
Like, Gorillaz is one of those bands that's always in the back, like a background favorite. They're
go ahead.
They're a band that they are your favorite when they have a new album out, or you just get into a phase of them for a month or two. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, Gorillaz. It's Dare. Huh. You know? It's Dare, Feel Good, Super Fast Jellyfish, Stylo, Saturn Bars. Their latest album, The Now was fucking great. I loved it. Jack Black was in a music video.
Because of course he was.
Just the music video. He wasn't in the song.
I like how Jack Black is starting to make the rounds. I like how a lot of older celebrities are starting to make the rounds on the internet and in general culture again. Like, you got Jack Black, you got Macaulay Culkin. I think I heard some. Sorry?
Will Smith going, let's rewind.
Yeah, that's right. Will Smith. And there was someone else I heard is planning on making a YouTube channel but hasn't yet. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, though. Oh, yeah, there's a rumor going around that Jon Stewart's going to start a YouTube channel.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I love how, okay, weird tangent. I watch clips from Colbert's talk show.
I do occasionally myself.
I love how in the canon of that show, Jon Stewart lives under his desk.
Yeah, that's great.
And because I'm never going to be able to mention this or talk about this anywhere else, I love how Colbert puts up his imaginary props. Whenever he's miming a thing and a bit or a gag, whenever he's done, he puts up the prop.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That so doesn't exist, but it's like a nice little capstone to the skit. I just appreciate that.
All right. Well, do you have anything else to say about Gorillaz?
It is an experiment in terms of artistic development and interest, and I know Digibro said this once before, but we need more bands like this. I think there's been like one other band that has tried to do this in the meantime. And it was like,
Well, this specifically, you mean?
No, just like having characters for the focus of the band, so it's less. Oh yeah, nah.
Well, I was gonna say there's Daft Punk, there's Ghost. Those are those are the
Ghost.
three that
Ghost
come
is
to
an
mind.
example of that, but like there was a pop band with a CGI girl
Mhm,
with like very rainbow eye, like smudgy eyeliner.
mhm.
Uh,
Hatsune Miku is a thing that exists.
Poppy.
Fucking yeah, that's right. I forgot Pop. I don't know very much about Poppy. Um,
She okay.
and
Oh my god, dude, motherfucker! Poppy is doing one of the songs for Takeover
I
Phoenix.
saw.
What the fuck?
I know.
It's a metal
Um,
song, but it's Poppy.
Coheed and Cambria is kind of in the same vein, but they dropped it after like their third album, I think.
They brought it back.
All right.
Then it was like 5 albums, and then they made like 2 that weren't. And then they went back and was like, no, we want to tell more stories about the main lead singer's alt-world isekai anime.
AKA, we realize that shit where we're just a band doesn't work, and we need money. Please, here, we'll give you more story.
um, Also, Sia,
Sia, what's Sia?
the pop star, the chandelier.
Oh, Psy.
Yeah, fuck off.
People have always told me it's pronounced Psy, so I just have it. I think of it that way in my head.
But yeah, because she hides her face and has the little girl be kind of her analog.
Mm.
I just think it's interesting. I love the character designs. Jamie Hewlett is one of my favorite artists. Especially love his designs for the Chinese circus that they helped create and design based on Journey to the West.
All right.
Yeah, it's fucking good.
That's a thing I'll have to look into.
They do a lot of interesting things. Like Damon Albarn made a whole musical. It never came to America. It was only on the West End. Or East End? I can't remember what it is in England.
It was across the pond.
Yeah, it was over in England in their equivalent of Broadway. Called www.underland.
What?
www.
No. I heard you. I'm just like, what could that possibly be about except the internet?
Okay, think about it. Underland. Underland.
Oh, fuck me.
It's a digital Alice in Wonderland.
Jesus.
You would have picked it up better if I didn't say it. If you just saw the image, you'd go like, yeah, of course that's...
Well, if I saw the image, I'd probably also see that it has Alice in Wonderland shit on it. I haven't seen it, so I don't know, but I'm assuming. Anyways, let's go on to fucked up fruit facts with Chris.
All right, gotta find one.
We've been doing this for weeks now, and you're still not you're still not prepared sometimes.
Well, motherfucker, I was using my phone for reference material about Gorillaz.
Oh, smart boy.
Yep. Okay. There are more than 30 durian species in Southeast Asia.
Really?
Yeah, durian, the one fruit that everybody in America kind of goes like, ew, has like 30 different versions.
That's interesting. It's also the gayest fruit alive because of Kamen Rider Gaim.
That is true, but he pulls off that gay.
No. He's one of the best things about that show. He's one of like the shining silver linings in that pile of shit.
Quick thing. I just like how he is a very stereotypical gay man. He's very flamboyant, and you could go like, oh, that's kind of a shitty portrayal of a gay character. But here's the thing. He's that, but he's also a trained military man and a badass.
Yeah, he's one of the most badass characters in the show.
And
then he ends up mentoring one of the character who has the best arc in the show.
And I think it's just really kind of like a neat little character bit of like, yeah, no, he can be flamboyant and be badass at the same time. It's nice.
Yeah, he's like a Japanese Velveteen Dream.
Except Velveteen Dream is just a little bit more fabulous.
Yeah.
There's
like three good. God, now that I think about it, there's like three good characters in Kamen Rider Gaim. There's him. There's the guy he trains, and there's Zack. I just love Zack because he is the good boy in the show of shitheads.
Yeah. Oh man. I hope you enjoy my next video because it's all about just shitting on Gaim.
Yeah, I probably will. But speaking of next, let's go ahead and find out what we're going to be talking about on the next episode of Analytical Fanboys. Are you ready, Chris?
Hopefully it won't be something that I just talk incessantly about and you go like, yeah, I didn't like this bit.
Yeah, and hopefully it won't be something that I keep going, I really like this because of this, and you keep going like, it's all right.
Yeah.
Do you like how I put discussion in quotes for the description of the last episode?
Yeah.
All right, so next time we're going to be talking about the original James Bond a fucking James Bond novel, Casino Royale by Ian Fleming.
All right.
Which I reread recently this year, and I found out that not only is Casino Royale my favorite James Bond movie, but Casino Royale is my favorite James Bond novel for completely different reasons.
Neat.
Yeah. All right, so that should be interesting. We'll be back to talk about that next week, I guess, because we're not going to get a break because we're doing MMWP live, or we will have done it live by the time this comes out.
Yeah. Sunday, the 27th? 27th. Yeah. We are doing a live Modular Media Wrestling podcast, but you're not going to be able to be here. But you can watch it recorded on the channel.
Yeah, we're gonna watch AEW Royally Rumble, the WWE. You like that title I made?
Yeah, you're proud of that, aren't you?
I am ridiculously proud of that.
But we're going to be doing our typical MMWP. Hold on, why am I talking about this? It's already happened because it's really being released next Thursday.
You just got to change your tenses, bro.
We talked. God damn, that's weird. About the month of wrestling. And we watched the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and it was puts hands over face, inserts line about our opinion on it.
That doesn't work in audio.
Oh, shit. No, it's bad.
You did it bad.
All right, Chris, tell everybody where they can find your shit on the internet.
You can find me at Boingo Rider on YouTube. You can find me at Boingo Rider. At Boingo_Writer on the Twitter. You can find me in my Discord channel server thing in the description. I do video essays and editorials and bullshit.
Yeah. I am Simeon Scott. I am the creator of multiple things on the internet, multiple video projects, that is. I'm most well known for the Vacuuminator Saga, a multi-channel, multi-character narrative of bullshit videos, and I also do vlogs on a channel called Simeon Scott. I have a Patreon. I just finished remodeling it to make it much more appealing to people. Please pledge. You can follow me on Twitter at that Simeon Scott and on Instagram at that Simeon Scott. And that's all of my stuff. Hey, this podcast is a production of Modular Media, a creative collaborative coalition of creators. I always get it mixed up whether creative comes first or not. We are cool people hanging out, doing cool things, sharing resources, making videos together, making other stuff together. Just generally trying to pull our resources and our audiences together to get people who need to be over more quickly. Currently ourselves, but we do plan to expand to more members in the not too distant future, I think would be a good way to put it.
In the not too distant future,
yeah.
AD.
Yeah. So if you want to hear more episodes of Analytical Fanboys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you want to listen to it on the go and you don't have that slick YouTube Premium You can go ahead and download an MP3 of the episodes from Google Drive, link in the video description. You can follow us on Twitter at The Modular Media. You can subscribe to our subreddit, which is also linked in the description. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That is all there is to plug. So we will see you next time on Analytical Fanboys, when we will be talking about Casino Royale by Ian Fleming.
Remember to feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.